Recently, I did a video talking about what you need to bring with you to be prepared for a Milsim event. And I had a lot of you contact me afterwards saying, well, once I start to get this equipment, how do I set it up? So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my personal chest rig, talking about how I set my gear up to make sure that I am as efficient as possible. What's up, Airsofters? My name is Lane, and welcome to the BB Warrior. We're here to help you have a better time both on and off the airsofting field. And if you enjoy videos like this, I'd love to have you join our community by hitting the subscribe button down below. And while you're at it, make sure to hit the bell icon next to it for updates when we post new videos every Tuesday and Friday here on the channel. And before we take a look at my chest rig, I just want to mention we are doing BB Warrior patches to help improve the quality of the videos here on the channel. So it'll help me get into a more professional recording studio and I'll be able to do more styles of videos. So I will leave a link down in the description to the video where I discuss it. If you can buy a patch, thank you very much for your support. If you can't, I completely understand. Thank you for enjoying the videos we do here. Now why don't we turn the camera around and we'll take a look at my chest rig. So this is my chest rig. I personally use the Mayflower Gen 4 UW chest rig. Now while I really like this chest rig and the layout of its pouches, there are some distinct advantages with going with a Molly chest rig, and I have discussed the advantages and disadvantages of each system in a prior video. If you'd like to learn about those, I will have a card in the upper right hand corner of this video up here so that you guys can learn that and decide which system is going to be right for you. Now I chose the Mayflower personally because it has everything I need, however it doesn't have anything that I don't. I personally find that if there's too much on a chest rig, I will carry too much and I'll carry things I don't need weighing me down. So from the back we have 4 magazine pouches. Now this is designed for the 5.56 platform. So if you're someone that uses an AK, a G36, an MP5, or pretty much anything that doesn't take M4 mags, this may not be the best chest rig for you. This is a specifically designed chest rig for M4 mags. So right behind that, we do have a dedicated admin pocket right here. So this can hold maps and things like that. I really like having one of these on a chest rig. A lot of chest rigs don't have them nowadays. Like the Haley Strategic chest rigs don't have admin pockets. And that's something that I really like in a chest rig. Now we're going to work our way from left to right and discussing what I have in each one of these pouches. So the leftmost pouch, excuse me, I keep my radio in. Now, I just use a Baofeng UV5R, and for some reason I don't have my extended battery in. However, typically I will carry an extended battery because when that's in, it fits pretty perfect in here. And then I would have my push-to-talk coming out of there, routed around back to the harness of the chest rig. However, at the moment, I'm currently experimenting with push-to-talks to see what I'm going to like the most. And that is something that I do want to point out. While I am doing this video to discuss what I am running, I don't have like a perfect setup. I will always be changing my gear, always be adapting to the situations that I find most common in airsoft. So I don't think I will ever find the perfect solution for anything. However, this is my current setup and what currently works for me. So I will put that radio away. And the next pouch next to that on here is just this little tiny pouch. I have a prisoner mask in here because there are some LARP style Milsim events where that is required, well not required, but handy, like if you have to take a prisoner. Now that is something that isn't going to work or isn't going to be allowed at a lot of Milsim games. However, it doesn't take up much space, so I keep it on there despite what game I'm going to. If it's not required, I just won't use it. And the nice thing I want to point out about this system, if you haven't noticed already, it's perfectly symmetrical on each side, which I personally like. Mayflower makes a ton of different chest rig designs. However, I like the Gen 4 the most versus like the Gen 5, or I believe they have a Gen 6 as well. So in this little general purpose pouch here, first thing I've got is a Petzl Tikka headlamp. Now, headlamps are super important because there are times in airsoft that you're going to want to have a light on something, especially a red light, but you're not going to want to point your muzzle at it. So you're not going to want to use your weapon-mounted light for every, your weapon-mounted light for every situation. So that's why I carry a Petzl Tikka headlamp. Now these aren't crazy expensive, and I will leave, for anything that's applicable, I will have a link down in the description below to where you can check it out on Amazon. However, this takes AAA batteries. It does white light, it does red light. I currently have it on the red light mode. But yeah, it does white light, and then you can swap it over to red light. So I really like headlamps. They're really important to carry for a lot of these Milsim events where they're in these kind of like dark and old warehouses. Plus, it's just nice being able to have a light that follows your head. Now, something I do need to add to my kit, which I will completely admit, is I need a handheld flashlight. I'm not sure where it's going to go. It'll probably replace this prisoner mask. I'll probably get like a small Surefire magazine or a small Surefire flashlight. But I have a multi-tool for pretty much any situation that you'll need in Airsoft. And then I also have an adapter for my source hydration bladder, and I'll zoom in on that real quick. So what this little guy does, focus isn't agreeing with me. What this little guy does is this hooks onto the hydration tube, and then a water bottle will go in here. So you just take your standard water bottle, take the cap off, and that slides right over it, as you can kind of see here. And then, when you hold it upside down, hold it above your head, and it will fill your hydration bladder through the tube. So I really like this piece of kit. It's really nice. I mean, it makes things so much easier. You don't have to take it out of your pack or anything like that. It just makes filling your hydration bladder that much easier. So that is everything in that pocket. And the thing I like about the Mayflower chest rig is that these pockets are good for like a personal IFAK. They can hold grenades. They can hold, well, all sorts of grenades. They can hold the small Enola Gays, the Enola Gay frag grenades, the Enola Gay thermobarics. Next to that, we have 2 pistol magazine pouches. Now, they are both closed top. I just prefer to have one left open top. And at the moment, this is housing 2 G17 magazines. I would, because I don't run pistols too often because a lot of them are broken at the moment, I need to find a smaller multi-tool, like a small Leatherman that'll fit in one of these. Or again, maybe that small Surefire flashlight, because I don't use my pistol that often in Milsim games. Moving over next to that, I have a notebook. This is a knockoff Right in the Rain. I keep radio frequencies and things on there. Not like specific radio frequencies. Like, please don't write down like your team's radio frequency, guys. That's just asking for disaster. If you're at a game where you can be searched like Milsim West, don't be that guy. And then I also keep in there, when it's not on my shoulders or on my wrist, if I can get that out of there, it's a little tight at the moment, I keep my Garmin Fortrex. And I'll zoom in again on that guy. So I really like the Garmin Fortrex because this is a wrist-mounted GPS unit. Now you may be saying, well, Lane, I mean, how important is that in a Milsim event? For a lot of games, it's very, very important. I can't tell you how many games I've been to that aren't even Milsim events. I've gotten like lost on the way back to respawn or something like that. Like, some fields around here are just absolutely massive. So having something like this is super important. It tracks where you're going. You can plot points ahead of time, and you can use this with the Garmin app. I don't remember the name of it, but these are fantastic. And for the right situation, this is a really, really handy tool. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to one of those events a lot, definitely pick one of those guys up. They are a little expensive. However, if you're the type of person that's going to those events enough, they could be worth it to you. So again, these are the same size because they are symmetrical, so frag grenades, IFAK, things like that will all fit in there. And while I have a Right in the Rain, I obviously need something to write with, so I've got a Sharpie. I lost a couple of pens and pencils I kept in there. That's a pretty standard pocket though. Same size as the one over here. All these pouches are the same size. And then finally on the end, I've got another one of the radio pouches. However, I've left this one empty for the video because this is really the most general purpose pocket or pouch on this entire chest rig. So in this, I could have another radio if I'm going to be in a situation where I need dual comms. It can hold an Enola Gay EG-18 because those produce a lot of smoke compared to their smaller units. This pouch can hold 2 more M4 magazines, so if I want to be able to carry a total of 6 on my chest, I can carry a handgun in there if I need to. That'll fit just about any full or compact size handgun. I mean, I don't typically carry a Deagle to BB Wars or anything. And I like having one pouch like this where it can have anything in it. And I like that because it allows me to adapt to what I'm going to need for the game. Because again, every game that I go to isn't going to be the same, and there's going to be different things I need for some games that I won't for others. Like, I don't need to bring a pair of bolt cutters to every game to be really extreme for my example. So I like to have one general purpose pouch. It's nice and out of the way. It's a place that's kind of awkward to begin with, so it's not like I wouldn't want to have like this be my general purpose pouch, because this could be more of a situational pouch, like a frag grenade, a thermobaric, something I need to get to immediately, whereas my general purpose pouch, I don't need at a moment's notice. Now, something that is also a very, very viable option, however I don't have one at the moment, is a Dangler style general purpose pouch. If you're unfamiliar, those Velcro onto the bottom, or the back of your chest rig, excuse me, and that puts a nice size general purpose pouch right here, and a bunch of companies make them. They have like the Spiritus Systems, the Feral Concepts, the Haley Strategic. Like I said, a ton of companies make them. And the reason why I don't have one on here is, one, I think that Mayflower makes a large enough chest rig to hold everything that I need. But one of my biggest complaints with this chest rig, as it gets all nice and dirty being on these rocks, is that the Velcro square on the back isn't very big. As you can see, I mean, that's maybe like 4x4, whereas you get something like the Haley Strategic or the Spiritus System chest rig, where their Velcro panel is like that big. So I found that running a Dangler on here doesn't work very well. However, this chest rig has more than enough space to carry everything I need. And again, if I carry too much, or if I have too much space, I feel like I'm going to carry too much. So that is just a general overview of my chest rig. Now, I don't carry everything that I need on my chest rig. I also bring an assault pack with me, which is why I like chest rigs, because I can wear the backpack standalone. I've talked about this in other videos, excuse me, but that is an entirely different video. Talking about my assault pack will take just as long as this video, and this video is starting to get kind of long. So that will be a future video. I really don't have an end-all solution for my tactical gear. My needs are ever changing. The equipment I am using is changing, and I'm in the search for perfection. However, I don't think I'm ever going to reach it, and that's just something that I've become accustomed to. There's always going to be new gear that I find. There's always going to be new techniques, do things like that. So as much as I adore this chest rig, I may get rid of it one day. I may decide that, hey, I need to carry more than 4 magazines that are easily accessible. So I may pick up something like the Plat Attack, or however you pronounce that company, their chest rig. Their chest rig holds like 6 magazines up front. Or I may decide that I need a different platform and I move to 308 or SMG. So my needs are ever changing, and that's something that you guys need to keep in mind as well. There is no end-all solution. So there you have it. That's how I personally set up my chest rig. However, something different may work for you. Your mileage may vary, and there isn't a cookie-cutter solution for the best way to run your gear. But that is going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed the video and this was your first time, again, I'd love to have you join our community by hitting that subscribe button down below. While you're at it, make sure to hit the bell icon next to it for updates when we post new videos every Tuesday and Friday here on the channel. Make sure to check us out on social media if you have not. I will leave links for Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter down in the description below. Thank you guys very much for watching. This has been Lane from the BB Warrior discussing how I set up my personal chest rig for Milsim, and I will see you all next time.